Welcome back, and now we're going to be doing part 3 of our 4-part tutorial series. If you haven't already seen the first part 1 and 2 where we're making our little Android robot here, go ahead and check them out. Now we're just going to continue further in part 3, and then obviously there'll be part 4 as the last one. So as always, the blend file is in the description on my Patreon for those of you who are on Patreon. I hope you enjoy the rest of this little mini series. So now that we're in part 3 of making our little Android character, we're now going to animate. So let's come over to our timeline, drag it up a little bit, and we're going to be working with 150 frames. Let's go ahead and type it in over here in the end frame value. And then we're going to come to frame 1. And let's start by selecting our little door. We're going to go to our object data properties, and under our shape key, make sure we click on the open door shape key that we created. And let's come to about frame 20. And in frame 20, with a value of 0, we're going to click on this little dot. That's the animate property. Now you can see it's yellow here. We've added in a keyframe. And then let's go over to frame 35. And on frame 35, let's drag this value all the way up to 1. Click on here again. Now we've added in another keyframe. Let's grab this keyframe and go Shift D to duplicate it and drag it to frame 105. And then let's grab the keyframe on frame 20, which is where it's closed, and go Shift D to duplicate it, and let's just drag it over to frame 140. And now if we go to frame 1 and we hit the spacebar, we can see this is opening up and then it closes. Okay, and you're welcome to grab the door at any point and drag these things closer or further apart from each other. It's completely up to you, right? You can even start a little bit earlier. I prefer just to have it starting a little bit later like this, but as long as it ends and starts the same way, it'll make this animation loop, which is kind of what we're looking to do. Okay, there we go. That's looking really good. So now let's grab the head, and this is really easy to add a little bit of life to the character. Let's come to frame, I'd say frame 1. I guess let's start at frame 1. And frame 1, with the head selected, let's enable auto keying. That's going to automatically add in keyframes. And with the head selected, let's just double tap R and rotate the head over to the side and just down a bit. Then let's grab the same keyframe, go Shift D to duplicate, drag it all the way to 150. Now the reason we're dragging it to 150 because we need it to end and start the same way, so it loops. So let's drag through, and at about frame 40, we're going to grab the head, double tap R, and let's just rotate it over to the side, kind of like this. So going from frame 1, it kind of does this. And then let's come to frame 60. Let's double tap R, kind of have him looking up like this. And then come to frame 80, double tap R. Let's just have him looking kind of forward and down a little bit. And let's come over to frame 110. And frame 110, we're going to double tap R, have him kind of look down. And maybe come to frame 130, double tap R. Let's just still kind of have him looking down, but maybe just a little bit more to the side. And then from there, it should just go back to where it is. Okay, so let's go turn off auto keying. Let's go to frame 1, hit the space bar, and just kind of like have a look to see what that looks like. Okay, and if you don't like the movement, you could always come in here and now take some of these positions. For example, we can grab 40, maybe move it to 30, Shift D to duplicate it just a little bit, and then come to frame 50 and just slightly alter it. So it just looks like the head's kind of resting, but only a little bit, right? It's completely up to you. Okay, you can add life to this character however you want. You can come and make holds and pauses and kind of just little minute changes. You guys kind of get the idea. The main idea though is that you want it to end and start with the same position. That's going to be the main thing. But I kind of encourage you guys to try and animate this in a way that's unique to your style. Like kind of come up with a way of making this look different. And this is kind of really a fun part. You've made a character, you now kind of have the ability to kind of manipulate it and turn it into something cool. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to turn off auto keying. Then I'm going to grab the rig. I'm going to go over to pose mode. And let's actually turn auto keying on again. And let's come to frame 1. And in frame 1, we're just going to go G and grab this hand, bring it down, R to rotate it, and have it off to the side. And let's do the same with this one here. Just like that. And let's just also maybe rotate it a little bit. Grab this one, rotate it. Something like that. And then let's grab all of these bones and go I, just insert a location and rotation. Then let's grab this keyframe in frame 1, Shift D to duplicate, drag it all the way to 150. And you can see all of our bones are still active. And then in between here, let's go to something like maybe frame 25. Grab this hand over here with auto keying. Let's just kind of move it in a little bit. Then go to frame 50 and let's just maybe move it out and rotate it slightly. And let's go to frame 80. Maybe let's just go G, kind of move it in, rotate it a little bit. Just adding some little movements to the arm as we go along the timeline. And let's come to frame 30 and kind of move it in. And then let's go to our right orthographic view. And then from here, you can kind of add little movements kind of towards the front and the side. Just little tiny movements. Try not to do anything too crazy. Something like this. So now if we go to frame 1 and we hit the space bar, the arm is kind of like moving a little bit, which is kind of cool. Okay, adds a little bit of life. And let's grab the other arm and let's do the same thing. We can now come over here. Maybe let's come to frame 40 and just kind of go G and move this one out and rotate it like so. And let's grab this, Shift D to duplicate. Let's kind of make like a bit of a hold. Come to frame 17. Let's just adjust that end of the hold just a little bit. Something like that. And then let's come to frame 100. Let's rotate it. G to kind of move it down a little bit. And maybe move it off to the side on frame 120. A little bit of movement. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. Okay, that's looking really cool. And this is fun. You guys can make whatever you want. As long as the frames end and start the same way, you're good. So I might just come here on the side, go to the left view maybe, and just also do the same thing. Just give it a little bit of directional change from the side. There, like that. Yeah, that's cool. That's looking really cute. And that's it. That's our little character. And you guys can do whatever you want from here on. I'm going to turn off auto keying. Make sure to save. And now let's go ahead and give him a little bit of a scene here. So we're going to go Shift A. Let's add in a plane. Let's tab into edit mode and go S to scale that up. About this big. And let's going to go S, X, scale it along the X. There we go. And I'm going to go grab my edge select here. I'm going to select the edge of the back. And this is kind of optional, but if you guys wanted to, you could extrude that out a little bit and kind of make like a nice backdrop. That's one option. So if any of you want to go with that, go ahead and do it. But for me right now, I'm just going to kind of leave it like this for now. And I'm going to go back into object mode. And I'm going to go to my front view and go Shift A. I'm going to add in a camera. And then in the right view, I'll just move the camera forward. Over here, go into camera view by pressing 0 on the number pad. And now you can kind of, adjust your camera however you want. So I'm going to place it about here. I might go to my camera settings and make the focal length 95 and then kind of move the camera back a bit. The reason I do that is because I'm going to go Shift A and just add in a empty. I'm going to go G, Z and move it up to about where the heart is, but just a little bit forward. Like so, and that gives us the ability to grab the camera. And under our camera settings, we can go to depth of field and drop down, go to the focus on object and then select that empty. And now we can take our f-stop and make something like 0.3. So when we do now go over to our render engine, we can go ahead and change it to cycles. If you have a GPU, I recommend you use it. And then under your render samples, let's make the max samples 55, should be fine. Make sure the noising is enabled. Now we can go Shift A, quickly add in area light, and I'm going to go G, move it over to the side, R to rotate it, and I'll just quickly give it a strength of like 2000 for now, and maybe increase the size. And now we're going to go Z and go rendered. And now you guys can kind of see with this camera, with the depth of field here, because we have this f-stop here, it should be nice and soft with the focus in the background. If I turn off depth of field, you can see the background gets a little bit sharper. But I think for now what I'll do is just kind of grab my light over here and move it out a little bit more, make it a bit bigger, and just give it a strength of 3000. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go Shift A, just add in a plane, and go G, move that over, rotate it, and just kind of scale it. And this plane is going to sit right over here. It's going to be nice and big. And with this one, we're just going to go to our materials, give it a new material, and just going to go to the base color, and under the value, we're going to type in 8. That's going to make that really reflective. Okay, so just a nice big reflective plane off to the side here, bouncing back some of this lighting from this light here, and we're just going to go Shift D to duplicate, have one kind of coming from the front and rotate it in a little bit, and that should give us some pretty nice lighting. But I think we could probably bring down the intensity of this light to the front to about 1200, and then go Shift D to duplicate it and have it kind of coming from the back as well and off to the side, just creating a little bit of rim lighting like so. Okay, that's looking really cool. So now we have some nice lighting, and optionally, and I'd recommend this, if you go to your world properties, you can always go to your the color here and give it an environment texture. So that's a HDRI. There's a lot of tutorials on where to find them. They're very simple. If you don't have one, just go ahead and use the default sky texture. I'm just going to go with an environment texture, and I'm just going to find one on my computer. I already have a few somewhere in my library, so I'm just going to go ahead and select one. But there's millions out there to pick from. So now I just have a little bit of extra lighting, and I might just bump that down to a value of 0.5. And in my case, I'll probably add in a background of something later, but the idea here now is we have an Android little guy, we have a scene set up. Let's just do a quick little bit of organization, and we'll jump into part 4 where we'll do some materials and kind of finish off rendering this out as a final animation. So I'm going to grab all the lights and just the floor and everything and the camera, so all this stuff. I'm going to press M, create a new collection, call it scene, go OK. And the scene, we'll have it above the cutter object here. Okay, remember the cutter object should be turned off. We don't want to see that in the render. And then the Android, so I'll turn the scene off for now. The Android here and all of these things, they're on the main collection. So we'll double click on the main collection called Android, like so. So now we are a little bit more organized, and I might just grab this empty, press M, and just click on scene, and just move that to the scene as well. And the rig, I guess, we can take that and press M, and just move it to the cutter object here. We don't actually need to see that. So there we have it. So now we're a lot more organized. I'll just bring the scene back, go into the camera view, and remember, if you want access to this blend file, you can go in the description below to my Patreon. It's a great way to support the channel, and that also gives you the ability to kind of get access to some of these files as well. So I'll see you guys in the next part, which is part 4, which is going to be the final part of this 4-part little Android animation tutorial that we've been doing in Blender 4.0.